Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the 2025 horoscope using numerology and Chinese astrology. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button to leave a comment and to hit the subscribe button so that everyone can get a chance to see this video. I'm super excited to talk about this next year of 2025 because we are entering into the year of the snake and a universal year number 9. So this is super exciting energy that we're stepping into here. Definitely when I first tapped into this next new year, I felt a jolt of energy. So this is a feeling of definitely pushing forward, making changes, making progress, a lot of increase in energy coming into this next new year. So let's talk about the snake and the nine, which both have some similarities. So the snake is definitely an energy that is all about intelligence, intuition, adaptability, using wisdom to navigate through situations. So, definitely a very strong, energetic force, this snake energy. And this is all about travel, movement, decision making. Now, on the negative side, the snake energy can come with a feeling of urgency, a feeling of needing to complete things, needing to push forward, and can lead to making sudden, impulsive decisions. So, there's a need to calm down this energy a little bit and to take the time to really calculate things before moving forward. The snake, though, carries a lot of wisdom, a lot of intelligence, to be clever, to be cunning in its approach. So there's this ability to really weigh in on decisions before jumping ahead. But with this impulsive jolt of energy, there is a tendency to either become indecisive or to jump the gun a little bit. So there's this need to pull back some of this energy a little bit. Now, the number 9 is the last number in numerology. It's the number of completion, of ending things. So this definitely indicates that we're stepping into a year that is about completing something very significant in the world. So there is work that has been started that is coming to a full completion in this next new year for sure. This is definitely a year that is about wrapping up things, about letting go of the past, moving forward. Now, the 9 on the negative side can become a very selfish energy, very angry, aggressive. And it also can become a bit of a hermit energy as well, very enigmatic, very much detached in this way. But there's a tendency to think very highly of oneself in the 9 energy because it is about transcendence. It's about going higher in our spiritual journey. So there is on the negative side a tendency to develop a sense of ego, a sense of thinking you know everything or you are superior now that you have reached this higher place, this elevation. At the same time, the 9 is a great energy of intuition, of intelligence, of adaptability. It also, though, can be an energy that takes us into unrealistic expectations, fantasies, illusions, escapism. So, again, there's negatives and positives to this 9 energy. Definitely 9, though, is connected with the brain. So, it gives us the ability to tap into the intelligence, the intuition, the deep inner knowing, which can help us along our spiritual path and journey. 9 is definitely an energy that is internalized, that is about focusing towards self realization, looking for deeper answers with this 9 energy, but it also is very adaptable. So it's about picking up on other energies in its environment as well, very empathic, very sensitive to its surroundings. And so on the positive side, the 9 can be channelized into helping others, into wanting to make a difference in the world. But again, on the negative end, it can become selfish and destructive. So it's all about how that energy is channelized. Are we putting it into something constructive or deconstructive? This becomes very important. So let's talk about then what will happen for each of you according to your personal year number. And this should be very easy to calculate because any number that you add to the 9 tends to go back to its original number. So this makes the calculations a little bit easier. But in general, to understand how to calculate your personal year number, it's very important to understand what the universal year number is. And for 2025, obviously it's going to be a 9. So what we do is we add up the digits in the year. So it is 2025. So we have two twos and a 5 in it. So we always keep the twos together. So this would be a 22 plus a 5, which comes out to 27. And if you add the 2 and the 7, you end up with a 9. Now, to get to your personal year, though, you want to take your month of birth plus your day of birth and add them together, and then add that to the universal year 9, and it will come out to your personal year number. So, if you're stepping into a personal year 1, this is a very dynamic year, very enterprising. This is all about moving forward, all about moving into new territory. You become very pioneering, very much a trendsetter, coming up with all sorts of ideas. This is all about stepping outside of your comfort zone, initiating with this energy. On the negative side, you can become too egotistical, hot headed in this year. There can be some issues with aggression, anger, some things that you definitely want to watch out for. This could also make you too daring, too bold. You can push forward a little bit too much with this energy. So there's a need to pull back a little bit and to make sure that you know the direction that you're going into rather than jumping forward impulsively. This is definitely an energy that's all about being independent, though, stepping into your own this year, not looking to rely on others or looking outside of yourself, but really tapping into your own identity, your own sense of self. This is a time to experiment, to be creative, to be original in your approach. So it becomes all about really focusing on your vision, on your path that you want to push forward with in this year. This is a brand new cycle for you. You're starting over, starting fresh here. So, thinking about how you want to start this brand new cycle is very important. Laying that foundation, really seeing the vision for what you want to push forward in the next several years. If you're stepping into a personal year 2, this is a huge shift from the last year where you were more dynamic, more forceful, more so in this energy of creating, of starting things. This is a year where you're going to pull back a little bit, become more gentle in your approach, more receptive at this time. So, this is definitely a year that's about teamwork, collaboration, coming together. This is an excellent year to collaborate with anyone. Anything that you're thinking of that has to do with working together with others, this is an excellent year for this. This is a year that requires a lot of patience as well, really taking your time, not being too self centered in this time becomes extremely important. But there can be a tendency to become self cautious in this year where you become very picky about small details. So, this is something that you want to be careful of. Obsessing over these small details, getting too attached even in relationships during this time can create some disharmony, some disappointment. So, this is a time to be a little more balanced in your approach for sure. And it is a time of really tapping into that emotional side of yourself, being more receptive, more observant of others around you. Anything involving teamwork, once again, is going to be very successful for you during this time. If you're coming into a personal year 3, then this is the energy of the child. This is an excellent time to express yourself. This is a time of being overfilled with joy, optimism. This can be a great time to express yourself creatively or simply expressing yourself through words. This is all about communication, all about connection, all about enjoying yourself in this year. So, this is a fun energy. This is playful. This is witty coming into this brand new year. This also can be a time where you are drawn to beautiful things, where you're looking at things in the world and seeing the enjoyment in everything. So you can find yourself attracted to beautiful people, beautiful possessions at this time. It can be a very sensual time, very materially driven, very expansive, even. Thinking about how you want to move forward at this time. You want to be careful, though, about overdoing it. You can become wasteful over expanding, becoming too optimistic, pushing forward too much with this energy. This placement also could make you very particular about your appearance, very particular about how you show up in the world as well. You could show off at this time. Again, it's all about having fun, enjoying yourself, but not overdoing it. You can find that a lot of luck and good fortune can come into your life at this time as well. This is great for anyone who has artistic talent, anyone who uses communication in their career. Any of this can help you at this time. You become extremely expressive with this energy. Coming into the personal year 4, things start to come back down to earth. You're coming out of this jovial, joyful energy of the 3, and things are becoming more serious, more strict in this personal year 4. This demands that you're organized, that you are systematic in your approach. If you try to do things in a way that is disorganized, you can find a lot of stress, disappointment during this time. There's a need to have that sense of stability in your life very strongly. You can find that you're more determined in this year as well. You have more energy to complete things, to move forward in this way. You have a lot of endurance coming into this personal year 4. So, this is all about hard work, all about building a solid foundation for yourself. Coming up with a system, a procedure of how things work in your life becomes very important. Anything that you're thinking of building, creating, laying the foundation for at this time can be very successful. Now, this may be a time where you become a little too serious in this energy, though, where there can be a little bit too much of this strict and stubborn energy. So you want to be careful with this, but ultimately, this is going to demand that you have that sense of structure, stability, and work ethic. Coming into the personal year 5, this is a change in energy from the 4 for sure. It was more serious, more about laying a foundation, building a sense of structure in that 4 year. But as you come into the 5 year, things start to become more fun, more free, more open. This is definitely a time where you can feel very adventurous, wanting to travel, wanting to explore in this energy. This can make you very daring, very bold, very courageous at this time, really taking leaps, going for what you want, making these very abrupt changes at this time. You want to be careful, though, of making too many fast changes and decisions that can make you unstable at this time, though. It's still important to keep that stability of the 4 as you come into this. So, really, this 5 energy is about specializing on the skills and the tools that you have already developed to help you to make these creative changes at this time. This is definitely a very physical energy as well. You can find yourself moving around, getting on with various tasks in your life. You become very active at this time. This can also be a very sensual energy as well. You can feel very romantic at this time, very much interested in connecting with others in this way, interested in your looks, in the way that you show up. This can become very prominent as well. Ultimately, it's a restless energy. You're going to be forever curious in this personal year 5, constantly wanting to learn, to travel, to experience new things that you've never tried before. So, this is all about pushing out the boat and trying something different for sure. As you come into the personal year 6, this is going to become more serious now. There's a focus now more on family, on the home, on really nurturing yourself, but also nurturing others. So you may find yourself taking on some responsible roles as you come into this personal year 6. Other people are relying on you, looking up to you at this time. And it's all about creating this sense of nourishment, stability in your life. This is a great time for self healing, for focusing on love, on growth, on really honing in on your own skills, on how you can build things and nurture things into existence at this time. So, this is an energy of slowing down a little bit. It's of growth, but in a gentle way, of building again this sense of nourishment and stability. So, this is a time of settling down for some people. This is a time of deciding on creating a family for some of you. But definitely there's a theme of family members. And for those of you who don't have as many family members in your life, you may see this theme coming out with your colleagues, with your friends, that they're relying on you to be this nurturing person, this providing person at this time. So there's a huge lesson around responsibility of being of service during this year for sure. Now, as you come into the personal year 7, this may feel like an odd year coming off of the personal year 6, which was more people focused. It was more about the family, more about nurturing, more about providing. But this 7 energy is more mysterious, more hermit like. So this can draw you inwards a little bit at this time. You may feel that things are not moving the way that you would like them to in this personal year 7. It's a time of going inward, of reflecting, of really getting into your intuition, into your spiritual life, into your studies. This can be excellent for anyone involved in education. Focusing intensely on studies and research at this time can make you very successful. This is definitely a time where you're going to be very curious. You're going to ask big questions. You may find yourself interested in subjects that you weren't interested in before, for some of you, getting into the occult, mysticism, all of these deeper subjects with this time period. This is definitely going to be a time where your intuition is sharp, where you're seeing through the surface of things, where you're really getting to the truth behind everything. This time, though, may be a time where you are a little less practical, though, a little detached, a little bit in your own dream world, as this is more of an intuitive, receptive energy. Another thing that you want to be careful of as you come into this personal year 7 is spending too much time in isolation. For some of you who are more social, more outgoing, this can be a difficult energy. This can take you into a deep depression. This can take you into a fearful state, paranoia. This can be an issue. So definitely you want to balance out your social life with your time alone during this personal year 7. But it's all about diving into deep introspection and elevating yourself in this spiritual way. If you're coming into a personal year 8, this is a very dramatic year because the 8 is a karmic number. So this can be a time where you're seeing dramatic ups and downs. And this is definitely a year that is like a boomerang effect. Anything that you put out into the world will come back to you. So this is a time of being very cautious of your actions. You will reap the consequences of your actions very quickly in this 8 energy. This is a time where the effort that you put out is what you get back into return. So, this is a time of accumulation of wealth, of manifesting your dreams, but only if you are putting in the dedication, the work, the time, the effort. This becomes extremely important. This is definitely a time where you become more ambitious, more driven in your life. You could find yourself very busy at this time, a lot going on in your work life, a lot professionally, where there may not be as much time in your personal life for some of you as well. So there may be some need for a work-life balance at this time also. You want to be a little bit careful of being ruthless in your interactions with others, though, because you're more cutting edge, more professional in your approach at this time. So, this may make you come across as a little cold to other people around you. So, a need to be very careful about being compassionate, being considerate of others around you for sure. You may find yourself getting into arguments at this time. There's a need to pick and choose your battles very carefully. Again, you have this ambitious, driven energy, very competitive even with this as well. This can make you very obsessive about your work, about any task that you're focused on. You become very intensely focused on achieving success. Now, lastly, for those of you who are entering into a personal year 9, this is a time of completion in your life, of really getting things sorted and completed at this time. So, this is a time where you may feel a sense of urgency to get things done in your life, or you may be forced to complete certain aspects of your life at this time. This may also be a time where you're forced to let go of the past as well. There may be a tendency to cling on to the past, but you find that there are these transformative events in your life where you have to let go, you have to move forward. This is definitely a time that can help with your spiritual journey as well, helping you to elevate, to move forward along this journey can be very helpful to you. But again, you want to watch out for being too egotistical. Thinking of yourself as being above others can be very damaging for you during this year 9. This could be a time where you could be a little self-centered, a little bit impulsive, impatient at this time. This can cause some problems in your relationship. So you want to be very cautious about this. But you have huge determination. You are looking to move forward, to get things done, to finally get those things that you've put off in the past completed during this personal year 9. This may be also a time where you're feeling very charitable, very much wanting to help to give back to others. And this can be very helpful to you as well. Something that you want to be careful of during this time is being too unrealistic in your expectations, seeing things in this very dreamy, expansive way. You can push out too far with this energy and get yourself into some difficult situations. So, putting your ground on the feet, really making sure that you have that stability at this time becomes extremely important. This is also a time where you can pick up on the energies of others around you. Again, the number 9 is a very empathic number. So, definitely a time to pay attention to your energy. This may be a time of needing to take some time to yourself, to cleanse your energy, to not hold on to other people's emotions and energies around you becomes extremely important. This also may be a time where you are learning some important lessons around the things in your life. You're seeing that things don't last, that things don't go on forever. There's a need to accept that certain things do come to an end in your life as you come into this number 9. Now, depending upon your previous years, this can also show that you've accumulated a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience at this time, which is changing your whole perspective and outlook on life. So, there's definitely a need to take the tools that you've learned, that you've gained from the previous years within this cycle, and to use this to your benefit, to use this to elevate yourself, to move forward in this way. You could find a lot of success in this personal year 9, depending upon the other numbers in your chart. But 9 is definitely a number that can excel in multiple areas. So this can be very beneficial for you. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the videos on the 3 planetary conjunctions, which will be on the screen right now. And I will see you all in the next video.